I read it and I just fell in love with the project. I loved the script. I thought it was so funny and poignant, and I loved the idea of Eddie doing it and playing this role. You know, the idea that like on page 20, Eddie Murphy's doing a Charlie Chaplin movie is fantastic, and so it just was a really exciting project for me. I play Caroline, and I am Jack's wife, Jack being played by Eddie Murphy. And we have a really great relationship. Like, we really get each other, and we have a good sense of humor, and I kind of accept him for who he is, although I know what I'm dealing with. You know, there's a little bit of a plan, that idea of, you know, men and women have a hard time communicating. And but we handle it well as a couple. And then this thing happens in his life, unbeknownst to me, where he literally loses his ability to communicate. And I just sort of think it's one of those men are from Mars, women are from Venus things, where he won't talk to me and we can't talk to each other. You know, meanwhile he's under this life or death spell. So it's a really cool dynamic, and a great kind of arc that he and I go through. Jack is very charming, you know? I mean, he's really charming and funny, and he's driven and ambitious and, you know, excited about life, and excited about pursuing his dreams. And I imagine that when they were courting, you know, he pursued Caroline in a very similar way to how he pursues his work now, you know, and that's part of the shift for my character. Is kind of like, wait, you know, I used to be the one where it was all, you know, fancy talk and, you know, effort and sweet talk and charm, and now that's all about your work and not about us. Caroline really, really wants for Jack to be more invested in their family life in general, not just in terms of the structure of the house, but the structure of their life together. You know, she wants him to commit to these Daddy and Me classes, and she wants him to, you know, just make the family a focus. And it's a terrible coincidence that the day she decides to approach him about really being more present as a dad, and showing up and being available, he can't speak. And so she thinks that he's not interested in showing up as a dad. Caroline decides to take a risk and spice up their life in bed, and it doesn't go so well. And it's very embarrassing for her, because she really kind of puts herself out on a limb, and in her mind gets rejected, although she's not really being rejected, but she thinks she's being rejected because of his lack of communication. It reminds me of some of the older kind of Eddie Murphy fish out of water films, you know, like Coming to America or Beverly Hills Cop. There's a real, you know, there's a real sense of the humanness of his character in a difficult situation. And it's been a blast to work with Eddie. I love coming to work every day. He's awesome, and it's really fun. And yeah, everybody, the whole crew, and Brian Robbins is awesome. It's great. I love making Eddie laugh, because I feel like, yes, like if you can make Eddie Murphy laugh, you're really funny. You know what I mean? Like, he knows funny, so that's like my goal, is to always make Eddie laugh at least once. Brian's great. Brian's really, really great. I mean, I feel like he's always available for my questions and concerns. Oh yeah, you have to ad lib. You definitely have to ad lib. You know, especially whenever there are babies involved in a scene, because you literally have like a third scene partner who is going to do whatever they want. You know, the child is not, the 18-month-old child is not going to go by the script, and so you have to be ready to improv. It was quite the outfit. I don't know what else to say.
That's a hard.
Yeah, it's a weird, you know, it's one of those very strange parts of my job, is having to walk around in patent leather lingerie. It's not that is not normal. But I think I turned to our DP, Clark, who's awesome, and I was like, is this really what I went to college for, to wear patent leather underwear? He was like, it's relevant for the storyline. I was like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's an important part of my character arc. You have to keep reminding yourself that. It was a movie, now it's a film, because Ruby's just such an amazing, dynamic, important person. I had the honor of presenting her with an award earlier this year, and I just adore her. I just adore her. She's such an icon, and she's one of my heroes, not only artistically, but socially. Divine. She is a divine, divine woman. And just the epitome of grace and elegance and cuteness. Like, how can somebody be so elegant and graceful and adorable at the same time? It's unfathomable. It's something to reach for. It's like, she's really, truly a hero.